Alright guys, this is my first video as Preston Welding LLC here in Florida. I'm in the Panhandle. So this is going to be a little bit of a catastrophic failure that I'm going to be repairing on this trailer. So as you can see, there's the scissor right there. And you can see where the ram broke, the ear broke off, and I took out that whole cross member that it's on, and then that 3-inch channel there. All right, and then I'll show you the ram real quick, and that's what happened to the ram. So a little bit of damage here to this thing. So I'm going to take some measurements, make sure I get that across there, get across here, and then those ears there, make sure I get those right in the back in the right spot. And then I'm just going to take that pin out, drop that down, get that out of my way. And then I'm not set up for my arc gouging right now, but I do have a torch, so I'm just gonna cut all of that garbage out of there, get it cleaned up, and then get it prepped. So still getting new to this. I'm still new to this video stuff, so I'm gonna turn it off, do what I need to do, because the customer's also paying for this. So and then once it's all prepped, cut out and prepped, I'll get back to it, show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right guys, so I got everything measured out, got a little strap up there to hold that deal, and I got the pin out. Nothing fell. I don't necessarily like working under anything like this, but at this point it's really all I got. So I'm just gonna stay low just in case something does happen. Stay close to the ground, and I won't get in any pinch points. So that's the update. So I'm gonna get cutting right now. All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right guys, real quick, I just wanted to show you something. I got the first cut made on the corner, and if you can see the separation. So I'm not by any means the biggest expert in any of this stuff, but there's a lot of energy trapped in there, so you got to be careful when cutting things that they don't spring and hit you or do whatever. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. One cut, it separated that much. All right guys, I'm gonna get back to it. All right guys, so I got a little overzealous and didn't get to show you how it was when I cleaned it up. Had to get inside those channels underneath there, back up under there, and I got my cross member cut, so got it notched out to fit inside the channel there. Just use my torch. These I'm gonna have to you know, put a jack under it or something and get those up to where they are. Bend a little bit up in here, but they don't want those replaced, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put them back where they need to be when I'm ready. Here is the part that goes under the bulkhead of the trailer back to that cross member, and then I got a piece of channel up here that goes above that, and the hydraulic lines run down inside that guy. So yes, that is a titanium from Harbor Freight. I'm not going to be using that. I'll be using my LN25 here to get it in there. I'll probably use that. But here's the pieces that the ears. This one is the hydraulic ram hooks to, and then these two little guys here. That's what that scissor, whatever you want to call that deal, That's what that hooks up to at the base there. Well, real quick, this is my rig. It's 1500 Chevy X31. But anyways, it's what I have right now. Let me just give you a quick tour. There's my 330 MPX, my torches. I got this cool little rack in here. It's not complete. I've got to put a deck on it so I can set everything up top and not on the inside, and I trip and hit my shins and everything. It's fantastic. But anyways, I didn't bolt it in. I went ahead and used these turnbuckles down to the little anchor points here for like straps and so on. So did that. Didn't want to drill any holes in the truck, and you know, whatever. But there's my tanks, and I just reinforced this rickety old cart. And I put a little bracket down here I made, and I just did some bolts, U-bolts right to there. Works pretty good. Doesn't move, so that's good. But that's that. There's my rig. I still got to get my lettering on the side, but yeah, that's what I'm using. Making me money. That's what it's about. But anyways, that's that. As soon as I get some more done, I'll get back with you guys. All right. Bye. All right. Good morning, guys. I probably worked 3.5 hours on this the day prior. Back out here this morning. I took that cross member back out. It wasn't welded in. It was just sitting in place. So I thought I would kind of show you real quick what I did. This was the cutoff from the extra on that piece. So I cut it off to get it to length, and then I used it as a template. See, on both sides. And that's where it'll sit inside the frame. I use it as a frame template. So now my cross member's notched. See, it'll fit right in there. All right, then I got all that cleaned up. Got this cleaned up. I don't know how it looks from your angle, but it's good here. It just, you know, is what it is. But all right, well, I just thought I'd do that. I left all that other video out. I got to clean that up still. Got to do that one last thing, and then when I'm going to get it tacked in, I'll probably use my old LN25 here to get that done, and I'm going to use my stick welder for some of it. So I'm just going to use this guy instead of my titanium 170. I know you guys are anxious to see that thing in use, but we're going to use this today. All right, guys, we'll get back at you. All right, guys, I got all my cross members and everything tacked in place. Got them where they need to be. Pulled my measurements. When I did my measurements to begin with, I put them in my fancy little engineer's field book. I'm not an engineer, but it makes me feel smarter when I do that. So I tricked myself a little bit, and hopefully somebody else, but that's what that looks like. I'm gonna try to set this guy up here. It's a little windy out here, I apologize. But I'm just gonna put that guy down there. We'll get a little weld action going. The wind already knocked this camera down once, so if it goes down, I don't know, and I apologize, but alrighty. I'm having a drink of my coffee real quick. There it is, Preston Welding. Pretty cool. Guys, I got it finished. I just went ahead and did it all, but everything's back on, and then a couple passes on that. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll try to do some more details in these next videos as I go. Still learning this thing.